Hey, welcome back with another radio chatter here with Crazy Cat Airsoft. I'm Bacon Air 650.
And this is the Doctor.
And we're going to start off with our questions. We're going to change the format up a little bit here, make it a little quicker, and save you guys some time. So we're just going to do 5 questions, and that's going to be it for the episode. So I hope you enjoy. So Happy, what is our first question?
Should ghillie suits be banned? I think not. No.
I think certain types of ghillie suits should be banned.
Like what?
So when you see the walking Wookiee,
yeah,
they don't call their hits because they just can't feel their
them.
hits.
Yeah.
So I think the walking Wookiee, where they're just covered in stuff and they look like a green Wookiee, those should be banned because they just can't feel it or they know they're getting hit. Additionally, last time we played, we noticed that there was a guy wearing the green Wookiee suit and just running around with a pistol going around like this, like completely out of role.
Yeah.
So I think
he was taking it too much like Call of Duty.
Yeah, so I think 2 restrictions on the ghillie suits. 1, restrict it to people who are playing the sniper role and doing it correctly. If they start doing it, tell them strip off that ghillie suit.
Yeah. And
then also to use the more mesh net style.
That they can feel. At least hear the BBs hit them.
So they can at least hear it or feel it. There's Cry Precision comes out with one, which they took the camo netting and they basically just kind of cut it there. So you can still string some on there, but I would say that you shouldn't look like the Wookiee. You should, it should just break up the surrounding and stuff, but you should still be able to get some BBs through there so they can feel it.
Yeah, and also running around while wearing a ghillie suit is not playing the role correctly. You wear a ghillie suit because you want to be concealed and you're going to snipe.
Yeah.
To be running around is just ridiculous.
Also, the half ghillie suits, where it's just the top, is more practical, too.
Than the pants,
And I think it's, if you look at like some of the most popular YouTube airsoft snipers out there, none of them wear a ghillie suit.
No.
So, really, that tells you that the ghillie suit really isn't getting you anything, because really, in order to play with just a single bolt action, you have to be really light on your feet, because you really don't have a range advantage as much, because it's like 10 seconds for most people to get into. So a sniper rifle has extended range a little bit, and then your standard AEG is a little shorter. Yeah. It only takes about 10 seconds for the AEG or less to run up, to jog, close that gap, and then you're in his effective range. So it's more important for you to be light on your feet.
Yeah. Next question. Gas blowback rifle, yay or nay?
I'm going to have to say nay, even though I have one.
Yeah.
They just aren't reliable.
It always messes up.
Yeah, and I think I could probably get mine to be reliable, but the 30-round limitation. Now, if they had a game where it's only, the classic pistol shotgun game, and they would allow the gas blowback rifle so everyone is kind of limited on their ammo capacity, I would run the gas blowback rifle, actually.
Makes it a little more realistic.
Yeah, and basically everyone has that same restriction because they just cannot compete with an AEG, especially with HPA guns, the Polarstars and stuff. Because of that, it's just kind of, they're so underperformance. And they are expensive to run because you can only use really heavyweight BBs on them.
Well, that and like the fact that you have to do a lot of maintenance, like it oftentimes won't work right out of the box.
You have to get seals. So yeah, it's definitely not a newbie gun. And I think a lot of players who get them eventually just sell them. They're just very gimmicky. You want to try it to see if it's great, and then it's just always...
It's a novelty.
Yeah, it's absolutely
kind of like your M1 Grand.
Yeah,
like you have gun, it, but you never.
That gun is never going to probably ever see any action.
Yeah.
Unless World War II sims would get really popular.
Yeah.
Which is everyone keeps trying to push it, but they just can never get it, just because there's just not enough stuff out there. But I think it would be pretty fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah, especially it would suck to be the Germans because
exactly the Kar 98.
They have Kar 98,
but they have the MP40.
Which I would be interesting. Would the Kar 98s restrict them to AEG limits in terms of energy limits, like 400 FPS only?
I don't know.
Because basically, if you go above that, then you have a much your minimum engage distance gets increased are, for some milsims, you don't have them.
Yeah.
If you're running an AEG. So it's like, I think it was like, it would force the Germans, like, if everyone rushed them into close quarter, they couldn't shoot anybody.
Yeah.
So I think that they would have to be restricted to a lower joule limit.
I think a lot of people would just probably end up running the MP40. That's already AEG.
Yeah.
It'd be on par with the Thompson. Everybody, people at the other fields had Thompsons.
Yeah, the Thompson's a very popular one.
Oh, yeah.
All right, next question.
Most underrated airsoft gun?
I'm
trying to think. I don't really know. Maybe the
AK's a little.
Yeah, I was thinking
they have a cult following, but it's just like there's never seems to be enough. Naturally they don't have a lot of accessories and stuff for them, but like there's not as many magazine brands or all the innovations always on the M4, so they're kind of underrated in that aspect. P90s.
Yeah, I don't see P90s very often.
I know. The MP5.
Yes. Don't see the MP5 very often.
Yeah, and not only that, but it's like the magazines, they hold like 100 to 90 rounds each. So if you stuff all those in a standard magazine pouch, mid caps, of course, you can fit 400 rounds right there. 400, 800. Like, you can actually store a lot of ammunition on you.
Go crazy.
And the full buttstock version, you could fit a very large battery in there too.
Yeah.
And it's a standard, it's either a version 2 or I think it's a version 2 gearbox on most of them. There's, I think, a few that actually run version 3, but I think that's definitely one of the most underrated guns.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I saw an MP5. Other than that,
well, my English professors ran one.
Bang. Weren't there loaners MP5s?
No, G36.
Oh, it was G36.
Yeah.
It was.
So, yeah.
That's what I don't see very often.
Yeah. I would actually really like to get him. I would actually like to build an MP5K, like a little soap mod kind of version.
Yeah.
And that would be a good one for Denise.
There you go. So your next question is, should new players be snipers?
No.
They need to get out there in the field and see what it's like.
Not only that, I did a comparison. I think to get into, like, get a decent loadout to do pretty much everything, AEG, like go to milsim events and stuff, it's like $350 to get just a good enough kit.
Yeah.
And then...
That sounds about right.
Yeah, that's with chest rig, magazines, BBs, battery charger and stuff. And then I priced it out to get a sniper rifle rig, and it was about $600-700.
Wow.
Because the sniper rifle, you can't just pick it off the shelf and go out to play. Because they're pretty much limited to an AEG in performance, so you have to upgrade it to the performance.
Of a sniper.
And there's the Noverage edition of a rifle. It's been pre-upgraded.
Oh, okay.
So you can pretty much run. That is one of the out-of-box ones, and that one's I think like maybe $600.
That's expensive.
Yeah, so
compared
they're
to
not.
AEG.
Yeah, so like an AEG, they're good to go right out of the box for the most part.
Yeah, I would say most of mine I haven't really upgraded too much.
Snipers aren't.
No.
Even though the gear in your magazines will be cheaper, the sniper rifles themselves are super expensive.
I say we only have one sniper rifle.
Yeah, it's a gas one.
It's a gas one.
That one I won.
Yeah, exactly. Still want to use it one of these days.
Yeah, well, I want to maybe HPA tap it, so it would be useful. Alright, last one. Painted guns, yay or nay? So basically, do you want to have your standard black gun, or do you want to put some paint on it?
Paint.
Yeah, I say paint, especially for a black gun. Now, things like my SCAR and my ACR, which already come in a kind of green or a tan color, I usually don't paint those. I may do a light dusting on them, which is just taking spray paint and just lightly going on it and then rubbing it off to make it look like dirt.
Yeah.
And the ACR does have a little cryptic pattern. It's really subtle on it. But in general, yes, I'm definitely a painted gun. Almost all our guns that get a good heavy paint job kind of have the same colors.
Yeah,
and that's for our local area.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're in a desert area, obviously you're going to change what you have.
Yeah, tans and dark browns.
Or earth tones, darker earth tones.
Ours is actually a light tan, with a good coat of green, OD green paint with, there's a lighter, I call it the multicam green, it's kind of that brighter green, and then just a little splashes of brown here and there.
I say my tar is still pretty much black, and mostly has a dusting of green.
It has a dusting, and we're going to paint that someday.
Yeah.
And you haven't told me what you wanted.
I'm not sure yet.
I'm suggesting you go ATAX.
I kind of like ATAX.
Do an ATAX. Do a tan, and then do some green sponging on it. All right, that concludes our questions for the day. So, Bacon Era 650 here.
And the Doctor.
Have a good day.